Hey, Alpine Church, for the next several weeks, we're going to be putting a spotlight on some of our staff members, new and old, so that you can hear some of their inspiring stories and be encouraged by them. Today, we're going to highlight Pastor Gerrod Van Engen. He was our original lead pastor at our Layton campus. He's been the pastor there for over 12 years, and he's just now moving into a role over central support. It's going to take a few months for us to transition him, but we're really excited about it. And so is Gerrod. So we've asked Gerrod to come on today and share with us how he was called into ministry in the first place. It's a fun story, and it's teaching all of us how to follow God's leading in our lives.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, about 17 years ago, in my quiet time, I felt like God was calling me to something. I didn't know exactly the details of it. So I wrestled for this with months, and I eventually gave in and basically said, okay, God, I don't know what you're doing here. And so I went and shared that with Paul, and what God had put on my heart is that we were going to be leaving California. And so I kind of asked her, what do you think about leaving California? And she politely declined. She said, no way. I had a friend buy a house in Boise, and I went up there and did some work for him. And on the way back, I hit a snowstorm that forced me off the road in a healthy way, meaning I was white knuckling it. I was in a 2-wheel drive truck, but I just felt like I had to get off the freeway. And I exited on Hillfield Road in Layton. And why that's important is God used this snowstorm to connect me to that Layton area. Before I headed back to California, I grabbed some business cards, and I was able to follow up once I got back in California. Now, this whole process is about a 3-year process. Eventually, we sold our house in California. We moved up here to northern Utah, and I started doing window coverings. But now, after being here a year and a half in Utah, we were out of money, meaning from the sale of the house, and I'm just not making enough to support my family. And some changes were about to happen. And I was putting a shutter job together in my basement in Hooper, in the house in Hooper. And I just kind of cried out to God, God, if you have led me here to Utah for something other than window coverings, please let me know. And that Monday, the phone rang, and it was Pastor Bill, and he said, hey, G, can you come talk to us tomorrow, which was Tuesday, before all staff? And I said, sure. So I came in, met with Brian, Steve, and Bill, and they said, hey, Riverdale's doing amazing, and now we want to head to Layton, and we want you to be the campus pastor. And I just look back at how God provided and took care of all the details for that to happen. And if you're listening to this and you can kind of relate, maybe you're at a crossroads in your life of not sure where God's leading you, I just want to encourage you, pray the prayer that I prayed 12 years ago. God, you lead, I'll follow.